All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of This Week Unloaded. As usual, I am your host, Rich White, and have not yet been joined by anybody on the panel. But got interesting stories this week. And starting with update to what we covered last week. This week, Samsung announced that they are going to be increasing the production on DDR5 memory. That is the consumer grade memory that computers that you would use in your home or office setting, that type of thing, use. So that could potentially see a price lowering. They're looking to have it up to at least 15% increased productivity between now and the end of the year, they said. Whether that's the end of the fiscal year or the actual year, I don't know. But we're coming up real shortly on the end of the fiscal year, so I don't think it's going to be by the end of the fiscal year. But even by the end of the year, a 15% increase doesn't seem like a lot, but it's enough to where it could bring the RAM prices down a little bit. So keep your fingers crossed on that. But on the flip side of that, the OEM RAM manufacturers, which includes Samsung, SK Hynix, which used to be Intel's memory and storage production until they split it off into a separate company that is no longer owned by Intel, and Micron, who is the biggest of the manufacturers, have all said that basically their allotments for 2027 have already all been sold. So that's not a good thing. So yeah, even if they are going to, Samsung does increase their 15%, it still may not make a dent. This is news that came out today. So they give you good news and then they take it back with the bad news, right? But anyway, for those of you who watched last week's episode and were looking at the prices and everything we were looking at, I wouldn't expect any real big changes anytime soon, even with the announcement earlier in the week of the 15% increase in memory production by Samsung with the latest announcement that they had today. So, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. But basically is what it amounts to. So, let's see. What else we got going on? Well, we got a poll going on out there in the chat. Do you think that the ATF, the government, basically the ATF, is going to appeal the decision in the Silencer Shop Foundation v. ATF by Wednesday? Now, it doesn't matter if they appeal the decision by Wednesday or not. That's just when the stay ends is on Wednesday. So the stay that is an administrative stay that's put in place, which is general operating procedure when you have a ruling like this, the judge will put a temporary stay giving the party that lost chance to file for appeal or to file for an extension on the stay, et cetera, until they can get their appeal ready and submitted. As of, I think 15 minutes ago when I looked, the government has taken no formal actions to appeal the decision as yet. So keep that in mind. But that doesn't mean anything. They still have tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday left. The appeal ends on Wednesday. So they still got 3 days from today. And they don't necessarily have to file the appeal. They just have to apply for an extension to the stay in that. Can't remember how they term it, but basically to get their appeal ready, they can apply for the extension of that appeal. So, Basically, it's like when you file for an extension of your taxes. Let's see who we got out there on the YouTube side so far. First in was Pack Rat's Attic. Then we had Guns and Barbecue, which I'm really reconsidering why I have him as a mod sometimes. And we got Denny's Plant Based Journey as well. So evening to you, fellas. And it says we got one watching over on Rumble. And I'm going to guess we have three watching over there on X right now, since the counter is at 7 on the internal counter. For some reason, it shows up there how many people are watching on X when they say X isn't fully integrated, but it shows anyway. It's crazy. I don't know. Because the actual X counter is like the one that you guys see on screen here. It doesn't actually show anything for X, but yet there's a number that would indicate people are watching there. Like total here, it says 5, but in the studio itself, it says 8. And that would mean 3 more people. When I've compared that to X in the past, those 3 people were from X, even though the X counter says nobody. So who knows? It's crazy. Craziness. But yes. Anyway, if you want to vote in the poll, you have to do so on the YouTube side. So head over to the YouTube channel, and if you're watching on X, you can always go back to X after you vote or whatnot. But yeah, the poll is on X, on YouTube only. Sadly, I can't do a cross-platform poll. Can I do it on one platform or the other? I don't even know if Rumble Studio or Rumble has polls available that you can do for your audience. So I don't know. I never tried. Never looked actually. But I don't think there is. It may be. I don't know. I can go over there and look right now. No, I'm not seeing where you would do a poll. Enable slow chat, pop up chat, enable subscriber only chat. Uh, no, I'm not seeing anywhere where you would set up a poll on the live streams. Yep. So yeah, if you want to vote in the poll, you're definitely going to have to go over onto YouTube to do so. Right now we're at 50-50 with only 2 people casting a vote. Yeah, you got to click on where it says yes, Denny, and then it brings up the full poll. It's the way YouTube changed everything. It used to just have the poll show up and that was it. But now you got to actually click on where it says the yes part, and then that'll open that up, and then you can cast your vote. I don't know why they do it this way. I don't know why they didn't just leave well enough alone where it used to be and where it was at the top instead of the bottom. But no, they had to go and change all this stuff because YouTube's going to do YouTube things. We've also been joined out there by apparently Justin Grimm. Somebody saying hi. I don't see him, but I don't see I don't see Justin. But Woods is saying hi to him. Well, see Woods, so evening Woods. Is is Justin out there? I don't know. Oh, excuse me. Woods says they will 100% appeal. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But, okay, Woods says no, it was his bad. Okay. You got me wondering there for a minute, Woods, because like I said, I wasn't seeing him. So if he was saying something, something was wrong. What else we got going on before we get into the main topic? I'm trying to think. Hmm. I don't know. Still don't get why GOA announced that they're going to be having goals in Tampa, Florida next year. Now, when they started the goals thing, the reason why they did it in Knoxville was because they wanted someplace that was going to be more central for everybody in the country to be able to more readily be able to access the site. Because populations wise, Knoxville was more central to where you know, a location for the majority of the population of the country. Um, the same reason why they picked Des Moines this year. For this year's, it's more central for the majority of the population of the country than, say, Las Vegas, where SHOT Show is, or where NRA's been, like down in Houston, Texas, is not the easiest, central to the majority of the population. They completely threw that out the window by going with Tampa, Florida for next year's goals conference. Who knows? Who knows? Wood says the ATF is pro gun, but DOJ is not. And the government is dumbly inconsistent. Well, we're talking about GOA right now, not even the government. This is the GOA doing. But unless you're talking about what you're just continue your statement. But yeah, it's uh, it's an odd situation where they say they want to keep their show centralized for the majority of the population of the country, and then move it from a midwestern city to central Florida. Doesn't make a whole heap a lot of sense. That's just my 2 cents on that subject. Personally, I would like to see them gone back the um, where they were at the first 2 years. That area of Tennessee was a nice little area. Sadly, it's not to be. There's other places they could have picked in the Midwest that could have been good host sites. What says DOJ is the defendant against the DOJ is the defendant against the GOA was his point. No, it's listed as ATF. I got the ruling pulled up. We're going to take a look at. It's only 2 pages. It's a real short ruling, but I got that pulled up to share. The defendant in the decision that came down this week, it's not listed as the DOJ. It's the ATF. That is the even though ATF is a division of the Department of Justice. Keep that in mind. So if the defendant's the ATF, the defendant is also the DOJ by extension. But the actual name defendant is the DOJ. Isn't the DOJ rather? It's the ATF. So I guess we can start going over this. I was hoping that Gizzard or somebody else would have been in here, but yeah, well, sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't, and sometimes they come in later. So we'll see. All right. over here so I can read that. United States District Court for Northern, or the United States District Court, Northern District of Texas, San Angelo Division. Silencer Shop Foundation et al. Plaintiffs versus Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives et al. Final judgment. For the reasons stated in the court's memorandum opinion in order, docket number 136, it is hereby ordered, adjudged, and decreed that final judgment is entered in favor of the plaintiffs in Silencer Shop Foundation versus ATF number 625 CV 056 and Jensen v. ATF 626 CV 277 on the enumerated powers claims. The plaintiff's Second Amendment claims are dismissed without prejudice as abandoned. All right, that's not the important part. Accordingly, the court permanently enjoins the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the United States Department of Justice, Todd Blanche in his official capacity, Robert Zakata in his official capacity, their divisions, bureaus, agents, officers, commissioners, employees, and anyone acting in concert or participation with them, including their successors in office, from enforcing the challenged provisions of the National Firearms Act as to untaxed firearms against the plaintiffs and, where applicable, the plaintiffs' agencies, political subdivisions, members, and customers, both current and future. The challenged NFA provisions are 26 U.S.C. 5812A to B, 26 U.S.C. 5822, 26 U.S.C. 5841 A.C. and E, 26 U.S.C. 5861 B to F, 27 CFR 479.62 A to D, and 27 CFR 479.84 A to D. Further, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, the United States Department of Justice, Todd Blanche in his official capacity, Robert Cicada in his official capacity, their divisions, bureaus, agents, officers, commissioners, employees, and anyone acting in concert or participation with them, including their successors in office, are permanently enjoined from enforcing the following additional challenge NFA provisions as to untaxed firearms against the Jensen plaintiffs and, where applicable, their members and customers. 26 U.S.C. 58242B and 26 U.S.C. 5861I. The court's permanent injunction does not extend to the NFA's regulation of any other weapon as it relates to the Jensen plaintiffs. See 26 U.S.C. 5845A, 5, and E. All other relief not specified here is denied. The court stays the effect of this final judgment for 7 days from the date of entry to allow the defendants to seek relief, if any, at the appellate level. The clerk of courts is directed to close the case, so ordered on August 5th, 2026. Like I said, nice, short, brief judgment here. 2 pages, not a whole lot, but it says a lot. What we got here is very, very good on the short term. And I got the official statements from 2 of the plaintiffs in the case, the NRA and the GOA, because both of them were involved in the case. So we're going to take down this, and we're going to go first to the NRA statement. Oops, I hope if I didn't close what I was going to pull up. All right. So go over here so I can read it. Federal court strikes down NFA registration requirements for suppressor short-barreled rifles and short-barreled shotguns in NRA case. Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. Another major victory for National Rifle Association and law-abiding gun owners, the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas today held that the National Firearms Act registration and approval requirements for suppressor short-barrel rifles and short-barrel shotguns exceed Congress's constitutional authority after Congress eliminated the NFA's transfer and making taxes on those arms. The court concluded that Congress enacted the NFA as an exercise of its taxing power, and that the statute's extensive regulatory requirements, including registration applications, ATF approval, fingerprinting, and related criminal penalties, were constitutionally permissible only because they aided the collection of the NFA's taxes. The court held that once Congress eliminated the transfer of making taxes for suppressors, SBRs, and SBSs last year in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the constitutional foundation for those regulatory provisions disappeared. The court rejected the government's argument that the remaining regulations could instead be justified under the Commerce Clause or the Necessary and Proper Clause, explaining that Congress enacted the challenge provisions solely pursuant to its taxing authority. The court therefore held the challenge provisions unconstitutional on Article 1 enumerated powers grounds and declined to reach the plaintiff's Second Amendment claims. The reason being that once the case that they have the right to do this under the Commerce Clause failed, the Second Amendment case became a moot point, so there wasn't a reason to rule on that. The court stayed the effect of the final judgment for 7 days to allow the government an opportunity to seek relief from the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals if it so desires. The NRA's case, Jensen v. ATF, was brought alongside the American Suppressor Association, Second Amendment Foundation, and Firearms Policy Coalition, with the plaintiffs, Texas State Rifle Association, FPC Action Foundation, Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, Hot Shots Custom LLC, and individuals John Jensen, Jeremy Nooch, and David Smith. The Jensen case was ultimately consolidated with Silencer Shop Foundation versus ATF, which would be the GOA case, which we'll get to next. So if you're a member of the National Rifle Association, this applies to you through the fact that it was combined with Jensen. If you're a member of any of these other organizations, it likewise applies to you. So keep that in mind. Now we'll go over to the GOA for their statement on the case, which will give us more of the defendants, if I remember correctly. So let me come back over here. Oh, we've been joined by Mr. Gizzard Gary, who didn't add himself.
Wonder how long.
Let me add Gizzard. Hello.
Wonder what it would take you to figure out I'm here.
You can add yourself, man.
I didn't want to interrupt you. You were doing so well.
Well, I was reading. I wasn't even looking at the studio. I was looking at what I was reading. I didn't even know you were there until just now.
I've only been here a couple minutes.
Okay. But yep, now we're going to bring up the GOA's statement on the case, having just looked at the actual ruling, which was all of 2 pages. Really short ruling. I don't know if you were in the crowd when I was reading that or not.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. All of 2 pages. Really short and to the point. Why can't all court decisions be like that?
Yeah, I know.
All right. Federal court rules key National Firearms Act restrictions are unconstitutional in GOA lawsuit, written by Felicia Bull on August 5th. Federal court rules key National Firearms Act restrictions are unconstitutional for immediate release. Yeah, we already got the date. San Angelo, Texas. Gun Owners of America and fellow plaintiffs scored a major win today. The U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas ruled that key National Firearms Act of 1934 NFA restrictions are unconstitutional for untaxed firearms and permanently blocked the ATF from enforcing them against the plaintiffs, their members, and their customers. This lawsuit was brought by GOA, Gun Owners Foundation, Silencer Shop Foundation, Palmetto State Armory, Silencer Co., B&T USA, the Firearms Regulatory Accountability Coalition, individual plaintiff Brady Wentz, and a coalition of 15 pro-gun states: Alaska, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Montana, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Texas, Utah, West Virginia, and Wyoming. Judge James Wesley Hendricks held that Congress wiped out the constitutional basis for the federal gun registration when it zeroed the transfer and making taxes on NFA items in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act of 2026. The court rejected the government's attempt to save the regulations under the Commerce Clause. The challenged NFA provisions are unconstitutional. Congress's choice to eliminate the transfer and making taxes excuse me, matters, and the defendants cannot save the NFA's regulatory scheme by referring to a power that Congress never invoked. Efforts to render the NFA constitutional must come from Congress, not this court, Judge James Wesley Hendricks said. The injunction stops the ATF from enforcing federal gun registration requirements, Form 1 and Form 4 applications, fingerprinting, and photography mandates against the protected parties. The court stayed the order for 7 days so the Department of Justice can seek appellate review if it chooses to do so. Eric Pratt, Senior Vice President of Gun Owners of America, issued the following statement. This is a historic victory for the Second Amendment. The federal government keep its registry of guns after Congress has eliminated the gun tax. The court correctly recognized that the ATF cannot continue enforcing the NFA's unconstitutional restrictions against law-abiding Americans. The GOA will never stop fighting to protect the right to keep and bear arms. Aiden Johnston, Director of Federal Affairs for Gun Owners of America, issued the following statement. Last year, GOA worked with Congress and President Trump to eliminate a nearly 100-year-old tax on suppressors and short-barreled firearms. Today's decision affirms what GOA members have been saying all along. The archaic National Firearms Act of 1934 and its federal gun registry is unconstitutional. GOA spokesmen are available for interviews. Gun Owners America is a nonprofit grassroots lobbying organization representing over 2 million members and its activists. So, what does this mean? Well, going back up here where all these states are listed, if you live in one of those highlighted states, you're covered under this. If you are a customer of Palmetto State Armory buying a short-barreled rifle, short-barreled shotgun, or suppressor, you are covered under this. If you buy a suppressor from Silencer Co., you are covered under this. If you buy a short-barreled firearm from B&T USA, you are covered under this, as well as if you are a member of GOA, Gun Owners Foundation, Silencer Shop Foundation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You are covered under all of that. If you're a member of any of those organizations, a customer of these companies, or a resident of these states, plus the one in addition to the ones that were listed in the NRA brief, including the NRA and who are the other ones? Firearms Policy Coalition, I believe, was one of the ones in the NRA one. The Second Amendment Foundation, I believe, was also listed. So if you're a member of those organizations, you're also covered under this. So even though, due to the ruling that came from the Supreme Court, was it earlier this year, last year, where they said that a district court cannot issue a ruling that applies nationwide in an injunction, they can do it for individual plaintiffs and companies. Each of these states was an individual plaintiff in this case. So everybody who's a resident of those states is covered under this decision, whether you're a member of these organizations or not, whether you're a customer of these companies or not. If you live in one of those states, by virtue of the state's attorney generals themselves joining in on this lawsuit, you are covered under this decision. It's
I'm
a pretty
covered
far.
twice.
Yeah, me too. But it's a pretty far-reaching decision for a district court. Packard's asking, but here's the real question. Does it apply to the citizens of the named states? The citizens of the named states, because the Attorney General, as an elected official, represents the citizens of the state.
Yep. You were represented by the Attorney General of the state of Kansas. That, and I'm a GOA member, so.
Yeah, I'm an NRA member. Yeah, the majority opinion that I have seen is yes, since attorney generals are generally elected officials in the vast majority of states. I don't know if there's any states that they're not. They are technically a representative of the people, and as representative of the people in all things legal on the state level.
Yes, I did vote for my attorney general. As a matter of fact, I've met the man.
Well, I have
I,
not voted
I
for
shook
my.
his hand.
I did not vote for my attorney general because he is an appointee until the next election because our attorney general is now our governor. So he was his chief assistant and got promoted into the position of attorney general when Patrick Morrissey became the governor. So technically speaking, nobody's elected our attorney general as of yet. Ozzy's asking if they take it to the Supreme Court, will it then apply it to the whole country? Yes, if it goes all the way to the Supreme Court decisions affect the whole country. And so can circuit decisions, depending on whether there is a uh, disputing decision coming out of another circuit. For example, saying it only goes to the Fifth Circuit, this doesn't get nobody sues based on this in any other states. So you don't have somebody in California suing on the same thing where it goes to the Ninth Circuit, you have the Fifth Circuit make its ruling on this, and the Supreme Court decides to turn not to grant cert. The Fifth Circuit's ruling will become law of the land. Unless, like I said, you got somebody in California that does this and it ends up in the Ninth Circuit, and the Ninth Circuit then gives a opinion on the case. Then you have two clashing opinions, and at that point, the Supreme Court's supposed to take the case, but they don't always. And then it doesn't apply to whoever the Ninth Circuit, the states that it holds sway over. It doesn't apply to them at that point. So
Is it possible that DOJ won't appeal this because they're afraid of what it might escalate to?
they could, but
That
with
possibility is
this,
out there.
yeah, the possibility is out there. But there's also the possibility, especially with what we've seen out of the ATF director and the chief legal counsel for the ATF in the interviews that they've given. There's also the possibility that they appeal it, knowing full well they're going to lose the appeal, so that it doesn't apply just to the named defendants anymore. It applies to a broader range of people. And you could see that order come down from the Trump administration as well. So it's an interesting situation we're in right now with this. I'd be real surprised if they don't appeal. To be honest with you. Keep in mind, just
Well,
because the stay ends on Wednesday, that's not a deadline for them to appeal. They can appeal this at any time. They, they can appeal it after the stay ends. Just means that when the appeal is accepted, they'll have to apply for a new stay until the case is heard on the appellate level, which has happened before in cases where somebody didn't meet the deadline that the district judge or the appellate court gave for the stay, to give them time to get their next level appeal uh, submitted, and they had in a law or something, or decision went into effect, and then they had the next level appellate court issued a stay when they did get their appeal. And yeah, so it's happened before. But it's highly unlikely that they will miss the deadline. They generally, the writing's on the wall when you get the decision handed down. Both sides are going to have an appeal ready. They just haven't submitted it yet. That's what it amounts to. So far, we got 67% of the votes out there, with 9 votes in, saying that yeah, they will appeal it. They will make some formal move. I should have made a formal move, because they could. They don't just have to appeal; they could also file an extension on the stay. Either one would be a formal act in regards to preparing an appeal. But yeah, 67% think they're going to take some action before Wednesday, the Wednesday deadline, which I tend to agree with. I think they're going to do something to appeal this before we get to the deadline expiring. It says we have 2 people over there on Rumble now. It says there's 21 total, which means we got 9 people watch. No, 9? Yeah, no. Oh, just dropped down to 20. We lost somebody somewhere. I would assume X. Or no, wait, we lost one on YouTube. So we're down 11, 20. Yeah, there's 9 people, I guess, watching over on X, because of the way this silly counter works. Oh, no, we're back up to 21. Anyway, 9. I would assume 9 people watching on X. So evening to you over there on X. So, got any other thoughts on this one, Gary?
Oh gosh. Well, this is now the third program I've been on that's covered this somewhat. So I'm looking forward to buying a espresso. Let's put it that way. We
Yeah,
don't have
one.
one picked out yet, but
Yeah, this is
I
going
know
to. Good.
I know I want to probably get a 22 one.
I don't have any threaded 22s.
I have my TX22. It would be perfect for that.
A 45 would suppressor in 45 would meet all my needs. I could use it with one of my threaded barrel 40 Smith & Wessons. I could use it with my threaded 9mm, and I could use it with my AR-15. Might have to get an adapter for the AR. I don't know. I don't remember what thread pattern that uses. Well, if it uses the same thread pattern, I wouldn't. I don't remember what the thread patterns the different calibers use are off the top of my head right now. But anyway, 45 caliber would be all I need. I think I could probably get away with a 9mm, because I don't. The only threaded 40 Smith & Wesson I have is my shield, and I'm probably not going to bother with that with the suppressor on it. Ozzy says he still wouldn't be able to get a can banned in Illinois. You know what's crazy? We regulate suppressors so bad in this country. You go over to Europe for hunting rifles and stuff, a lot of countries over there require you to have a suppressor on your rifle. It's considered bad form not to, because because of the noise. There's countries over in Europe that they're jealous of our gun laws for what we can have, and the fact that we can carry and stuff where they may not be able to. But at the same time, those countries don't have regulations against short barreled rifles and shotguns like we have over here. A rifle's a rifle, a shotgun's a shotgun. Doesn't matter what the barrel length is over there. Makes no sense, man. What do you think? I think that's kind of stupid.
It is. Welcome to America.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on it. We're working on it. A lot of things we thought were impossible 5 years ago. I mean, If you'd have told me 5 years ago that we'd be here now with over half the states having constitutional carry and all the stuff we have now, I'd say there's no way. So
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
gradual changes, but we'll definitely take it. We were in a far worse place back when I
Oh yeah,
started YouTube and stuff like that.
yeah. Imagine if Trump wouldn't have won. Keep this in mind. If Trump wouldn't have won, we'd still be paying $200 taxes on NFA items. We wouldn't even be looking at a court decision that's potentially dismantling the NFA where it comes to short barreled rifles, shotguns, and suppressors. Um, we enjoyed that there by Rob D, New York Outcast. He says, "Don't York my U.S. Damn it! They don't even drive on the right side of the road, and don't get me started on the short pants. That's only in England that they
Yeah,
don't drive.
that's not all of Europe.
That's the UK. For some reason, they got to be different than everybody else. Somebody told me once it's because traditionally the what do they call them, the cabs in London, the Hackney cabs, the driver was on the right side, so they kept that with their cars out of tradition. That's what I was told anyway. I don't know if it's true or not. Packard says in Canada, I used to be able to have SBRs and SBS, but only 10 round magazine. Mm, yeah. Then he says liberalism is still growing in many areas, but Islam is what is really growing that we need to be more concerned about. What we really need to be concerned about is the joining in alliance of the left and the Muslims together. We're seeing that play out right now in New York City. Mamdani and what the hell do they call themselves? The Socialist Democrat something or other, who are basically communists. And Packard says in Japan. Japan's never really had a big gun culture, which is crazy because they have an anime, Cowboy Bebop, which has some of the most accurate guns in it. You look at, well, we've discussed this on this show before. When they show close ups of the guns in Cowboy Bebop, the markings are 100% correct as to what should be on the firearms in the show. Their magazine limits, oh, you count the rounds when characters are firing their guns, they run out at the right amount of bullets fired. It's crazy for a country that doesn't have a huge gun culture. They got those guns down perfectly in that show. It's absolutely insane, and it's a cartoon. Sorry, my throat's still bugging me. Yeah. So if I cough every so often, um, I can't help it.
So, what's your bracket about tonight?
Have a bracket, man. I was told
What?
I was told by a doctor to only go about an hour, so I don't have no bracket.
Gosh, first Foss doesn't have a bracket. Now you don't have a bracket. I tell you,
Oh, you got to blame Foss. He's the bracket guy.
he had a quiz. We had a
Wow.
firearms quiz.
I could start a question and answer. We can answer some questions. But let's see. We got still on 9 votes. I guess I could go ahead and end this poll. It's about 2/3 say yes, they will, and 1/3 says no, they won't. So 3 people say no, 6 people say yes.
I talk about baseball, but I don't really care about baseball anymore.
Pirates are on a slump right now. They make moves to shore up the pitching, the bullpen, and now the starters are sucking. It's like what the you can't win, and the bats are their offense is down because injuries are finally starting to catch up to them.
So in the news today, Buffalo had a practice recently that was available to the public in their new Highmark Stadium. And a lot of the fans are reporting that for a brand new stadium, they certainly did a poor job designing it. There are a number of limited view seats in the upper deck. Evidently, there's quite a few seats that have railings in front of them that make it difficult to see through. Uh, Not anywhere near most of the seats are underneath the overhang, which was demonstrated when they had a pouring rain and practically the entire lower bowl had to clear out.
Mm.
Uh, just quite a bit of disappointment, to tell you the truth. Not that anybody cares about Buffalo. Well, Rob D might, but
Well, he doesn't watch sports, so
that's true.
Run to A Matters just popped in out there. Evening to you, sir.
And evidently, the number of retired men's professional basketball players who are making themselves available for the WNBA draft is growing by the minute.
Yeah, one of them I follow on X went out and got a blonde wig. I was wearing it in pictures on X, saying, "Does this qualify me as a transsexual?" Oh, man. Yeah, because apparently the WNBA came out and said that they'll accept men to play in their league. So got a bunch of ex NBAers saying, "Okay, we're gonna announce for their draft next year."
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they already have. I mean, how long has Brittany Griner been playing
Oh
in the
yeah.
WNBA anyway?
Mm-hmm. And we've already shown with side by side pictures that Brittany Griner could be Rob D's long lost brother. Think we forgot about that, Rob?
Where's that
Nobody asked me
barbecue
the
guy
chat.
tonight?
I don't know. Shut up,
Wow,
cat.
Rich, I'm hungry, Rich.
Well, they got food. I checked that before I went live. He just doesn't know how to shut up. Ozzy says he's ready for football. Steelers first preseason is next Thursday. They got a lottery entry in for opening season tickets for the Steelers on Vet Tix. I doubt I'll win. It'll be cool to go to the home opener, which is the first game of the season period.
Well, if they would give away free tickets and free parking lot passes, and
Well, I
be
know how to get around
okay.
Pittsburgh. I know how to get around Pittsburgh, so that's not an issue. There's a lot of places in Pittsburgh that on Sundays are free parking and permit. You don't need to have the parking permit to park in areas. Then you just hop on a bus and get right to the stadium. The bus will take you right to the stadium. It's real easy to get around Pittsburgh.
Oh, free beer, Pack Rat says. Well, I can't drink it anyway. Wouldn't
Yeah,
do me any
I don't
good.
imbibe beer, so I'm not a fan of beer. I never was.
It just make me sick. It wouldn't be fun anymore. So
Rob says Rich was a pimp and taxi driver. No, it's just everything's really central. It's real easy to get to, and the way the buses run and everything, it's just super easy to get around that city. It's not real super big either because everything's built down in a valley, so you got everything goes up the hills. It's not all laid out flat. It's an interesting place.
never been there.
Packer says he doesn't like beer. Pirates, they have dollar hot dog days where you go. They'll have, the hot dogs just be $1. That's not
We've
too.
had the Royals have had a home series against the Chicago Cubs in the last few days. Pack Rat would be interested in that. And evidently, from people who were at the stadium, there were more Cubs fans there than there were Royals. So he should have came up to Kansas City.
Ozzy says he went to a Pirates game back in the late '80s, then the Clark Bar after. I don't know if the Clark Bar is still there because they have done a lot of renovations on the neighborhood. Basically,
I've eat, I've eaten a Clark bar back in the day.
The Clark Bar
Probably
was
not the
a
same thing.
yeah, the Clark Bar was a bar that was in the Clark Candy Company building. So they, you know, creatively called it the Clark Bar with the sign looking like Clark Bar and it had bar underneath it.
They should have a Hershey bar.
Maybe they do in Hershey. I don't know. Never actually paid attention. I've been to Hershey, just never looked to see if there was a Hershey bar. I haven't been to a Pirate game since the early '90s. 92 or '93 was the last time I was at a ball game. Hell, it's been that long since I've been to a Steeler game either, for that matter. Or a hockey game. I didn't think about it. Yeah, as he says, the Clark Bar was almost next door to the stadium. Yeah, it was in that big square building. Had a big giant Clark Bar and Zagna Bar on the neon lights on the roof. Yeah, that was the Clark Candy Company before they moved it to Lonox area just outside of Pittsburgh, suburban Pittsburgh. Then they turned that building, the old Candy Company building, into a bunch of offices and stuff, and they had the bar in there. And then they built the Science Center right next to Three Rivers. And then Rivers Casino was next to that. And then eventually they imploded the stadium and built PNC Park in Heinz Field. think the signs are still there from on top of the Clark building, but I don't know if the Clark building's still there or not. Don't recall. The Clark Candy Company building was on the National Landmark Registry, so I don't know if they would even be able to tear it down, to be honest with you. It might still be there. I don't know.
Um, According to PMC Property Group, yes, it's still there.
Okay, cool.
It's apartments now, of course. But
Oh, they made it apartments now?
yeah,
Yeah, that used to be where my grandfather worked and made candy.
there's several restaurants inside. Cool. Should go. Oh, apartments start at 15.75 a month. That's dirt cheap. Yeah,
But, yeah,
for a
that
one
actually
bedroom.
is. That's not bad for that area because they've gentrified that area. That's actually not terrible.
Oh wow, you can watch baseball games at PNC Park from the rooftop deck. Wow,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
cool.
they'll look right down into the stadium, kind of like the houses across the street from Wrigley Field. Pat Gratz asking if anybody saw his post about Wrigley Field on YouTube. I did not.
Hmm. Hey, it got dark outside. Wow.
Yeah, it's dark out. It's really dark
It's,
out back. Usually I can see some the trees and stuff. It's super dark out there.
you
Holy
can
cow.
tell the days are starting to get a little shorter. By 9 o'clock, it's pretty much total darkness now here.
Mm-hmm. It must be super cloudy outside or something. It's super dark out there. Like
I could
usually,
close my blinds, but I don't care if anybody looks up in here.
usually when it gets to be nighttime out, I can still look through the kitchen at the back window, and I'll be able to see the trees in the park across the street, where I can make out the branches and stuff. I can't make out anything. It's super dark out there.
I'm on the third floor. I basically look, if I look south, I'm looking straight into a bunch of trees. And if I look out west, I'm looking into the alley. Real picturesque, let me tell you.
I'll be
But
saying a lot of
I can
players.
see my car out there though.
Yeah, I'll just say a lot of players would show up after games at the Clark Bar. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they go right from the stadium to the Clark Bar. People will be over there standing outside the stadium on the route over to trying to get people's autographs, and then you had more people over by the bar itself trying to get people's autographs there. They had a good restaurant in there too. It wasn't just the bar; it was a restaurant and bar. And they had some good food in there. I've eaten in there once or twice. Packrat said it was a picture of when it opened in 1914. There were still dirt roads going there. That's not surprising for 1914 that there would still be dirt roads. I mean, the main mode of transportation in 1914 was still horses. I
I'm
guess I
going
can
to
take this out.
share a picture.
Oh, you got
That's
your safe.
that's what I put in last night.
You notice you got
That
the
is,
Ford branding on it.
yeah. Well, I specifically asked for that, and they threw in the electronic lock. That's about $100 worth of lock there. So
Uh-huh. So I wanted to put one in the Maverick, but Amy's like, no, use that as a junk drawer. Like, you don't have to have it
still,
locked if you don't want to.
yeah, you can still put junk in there and just leave it
Uh-huh.
unlocked. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can lock it when you need to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it fit in there real well. Super easy to install. I was surprised. It looks nice in there. Of course, normally you'd never see it because there's an armrest that goes down over the
Mm-hmm.
top there.
Yeah.
So they'd have to look for it to find it, and then they'd have to spend a few minutes to break in. Good
Mm-hmm.
luck. You're going to have to destroy the console.
Yeah. I don't know if they still are, but when used to go and look at the website when you would put in to order your whatever vehicle you wanted, that was a factory option to have one of those in there on the Fords. I don't know if it still is or
Oh
not.
yeah, and it's in their Ford recommended accessories on their website too. You can buy it right off the Ford website if you want to.
Mm-hmm. How long did that take you to put in?
Well, a lot of it was because I was trying to record a video at the same time, so naturally that made it took a little bit longer. But if I hadn't been recording, I could have had it done in 5 or 10 minutes, really. Basically, there's two screws that go on the inside and they go out through threaded holes, and then they're self tapping into the plastic on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you just take a socket wrench, I think it was a 7/16, and it says not to over tighten them, but there's threads that are built into the metal, so you really can't over tighten it. So it basically sits in there. The two sides are contoured to fit the inside of it, and then the top of it or the front has a steel plate. Now the back is open, but and there's no bottom to it. It just uses the bottom of the compartment. You take out there's a little rubber liner that goes down the bottom of there. You take that out, and then you put it back in. So that rubber liner won't quite fit anymore because it's not quite as wide as it used to be. I just took a pair of scissors and cut about a quarter of an inch off of it. It
Mm-hmm.
fits perfect now. So uh, super easy. I'm super happy with it. Of
Oh,
course, I didn't have to pay for it. That makes it even nicer.
yeah, right. Free out makes just about everything better.
I was going to buy one anyway, but I was kind of cringing at what they wanted for it. But yeah, Snob basically said, "Well, reach out to them and see if they'll send you one for doing a video." So they did. Was it easy to program? Packrat wants to know. Well, there's a sheet with instructions. It's just a pretty simple process to. It comes with a default opening code, which is 0, and then you
Of
basically
course.
program. They tell you to program it before you ever put it in there. That way, if you have any problems,
Mm-hmm.
you know it's easier to get to. But they also told me on the email, they said that if you call them, they can give you a universal number that will unlock it based on your serial number
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But it's rechargeable and it comes with a USB-C cable. So you just plug one end of the USB-C into the side of that keypad, and then the other end, of course, to your dash. But supposedly it'll go so many thousand hours between charges. But yeah, that's it. So every once in a while, just give it a charge if you think it needs to have a charge.
I think I'd run a wire in there and keep it plugged in where I don't have to worry about it.
All the time, it's not going to run down that
Yeah.
fast.
It's just one less thing I have to worry about. You got the spaces right there that's cut for doing that.
Well, I
That
do
wasn't.
need to take that USB C cable back out, just throw it in the glove box so it'll be there.
Mm.
Don't do anything dumb like put it in the safe because it's not going to do you
Yeah,
any good there.
yeah, that would do you a whole lot of good.
But those consoles are And those vehicles, especially, are good sized. So you could get a decent sized gun in there. I don't know about you might could get a full size 1911 down in there. It's pretty deep, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
the
there a
Maverick,
factory override? Yeah, if you call the factory, they can give you a override code to get in there.
the center console in the Maverick, I can fit my Smith and Wesson 627 in there, and that's not a small handgun. So I don't know if the safe would take up room to where that wouldn't fit anymore, but it will fit in the center console of the Maverick. Will it fit in there inside of a holster? Probably not. Well, the one holster I have, it might.
But I mean, it's basically there for those times. And I will admit, there are a few times I'm out with the kids and they want to go somewhere to eat. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's one place that is actually a bar, but they serve lunch. Well, they're posted. You cannot technically carry in there. So, in those cases, yeah, you can just safely store your
Mm-hmm.
firearm. And before, in my old vehicle, I had one of those under seat safes, but those are inconvenient as hell and
Yeah.
they're ugly. And if somebody come in with a pair of cable cutters, they could just
Mm-hmm.
take your safe with them. Trust me, they're not
Yep.
that hard to open once you get somewhere where you're not being watched. I've broke into one before, mine, when it wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
unlock. So
Now, if you
do
live
that.
somewhere like I do, like Maryland, where put you gotta lock your gun up in the car if you don't have a carry permit, that would come in useful for that too.
Let's see. Packrat wants to know, do they make it for a Durango? Let's see. I'm on their website now. Select your vehicle. Dodge Durango. Yes, they certainly do.
Now, is there a year range listed? Because I know.
2011 through 2026. So it's going to cover most of them. I know for my Escape, they cover 20. I think 2021. No, 2020 through. Actually, it only says 2025, but there's no difference between the 25 and the 26.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you got 2014, it would work with yours, Pack Rat, because it's year 2011 to 2026. So you'd be covered.
they did not make one for my Jeep Compass. They do for some Jeeps, not the Compass.
Yeah,
So
they didn't. I don't think they had one for the 2018 Escape when we had it. I think I looked at that one because she was going to let me get it for the 2018 because the 2018 the when you open it up, it had a tray, and then you pull up that tray, and that's where the bigger compartment was. So basically, she just kept everything in the tray, and the underneath the tray part wasn't anything in there unless I was like sticking my gun in there or something.
they do
But they
make
did.
one for the Ford Maverick. So
Yes, they do. Well, it's basically the same console as what you got there.
and yes, there is at least one brand that sells knockoff versions on Amazon, but they don't have hardly any reviews. I'm not sure I'd trust them.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And what reviews I've seen, because some of them have the biometric,
Mm-hmm.
and those are really horrible on the knockoffs. So
Yeah,
I
someone
wouldn't.
I've seen a review of one of those kind of things that was a knockoff, and it was made out of aluminum and not strong aluminum. The guy took a pair of pliers and bent it up and was able to get it open.
Wow, that's no good.
No, so don't buy a knockoff, guys. Get the real one.
Buy once, cry once.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, if you trade the vehicle off, unless you get something, just leave it in there. It's probably an asset. It's like, look, I've got an option in here. You should give me an
Mm-hmm.
extra $100 because I've got a safe built in here. You don't have to use it for a gun. You can keep other valuables in there.
Pack Rat wants one that you can carry a long gun in.
Yeah, I
They
don't know about that.
they make them where you can, if you got a truck or something, they'll take the place of your back seat.
Yeah, they do have those. I don't think Console Vault makes them, but
Yeah, I don't think they do.
although they're making some home safes now, I saw. So they've kind of went into that business a little bit. But they're made right in the United States in Wooster, Ohio, believe it or not. So it's nice to buy something that's American made, American assembled, and keep Americans employed. Another reason to buy the real deal.
So I went looking to see if I could find one of those steel targets for Ron, and I found everything out but that. I found this neck ice pack I've been looking for a couple years now. I found the power pack that I couldn't find forever, and an unopened box of BioFreeze, the large patches that you use for your lower back. Found
Oh,
an
yeah.
open box of those.
I did see that Ron Wayne had a video up of a care package that Pack Rat sent him.
Mm-hmm. That
And there was some
yeah
pretty cool stuff in there.
yeah. It was after I watched that I went and looked to see if I could find one of those targets. But I could swear they were in our bedroom closet, but I can't find them. Could have swore Amy put them up there after the flood in the basement last year. They were in the basement, but a lot of stuff in the basement got moved to other places. Hopefully, I find one of them so I can send it off to him, like I said I was going to. Don't want to tell the guy I was going to send him something and not be able to find where I told him I was going to send him.
Right. Pack Rat
Amy.
says, "Who, me? Yeah, you."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I guess we can go ahead and take that off the screen. I just,
and it might have been his wife, and then she just said it was him. The heck? Where is it? Why the hell did it show up again?
because you clicked on it.
No, I didn't.
You,
It's still showing up in the bottom there.
I got, well, yeah, I got rid of it.
Okay.
I couldn't find the stop sharing button. I had to look for it.
You just click the same button that you use to share to start share. You click it again and it stops. What else is going on this week? Anything?
Oh, well, my kids made it home from vacation yesterday. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I got a show tomorrow. Foss did his show this morning. Has anybody here been discouraged and familiar with the bus transportation system around town in Deadwood and Rapid City? I've never been to Deadwood or
Never.
Rapid City, so
Yeah,
no.
no, never been. I would like to go to Deadwood just for the historical.
Sturgis. I've never been to Sturgis either.
No, there used to be a pretty good mystery series of novels that were being published independently on Amazon that were set in modern day Deadwood. The female private investigator. Pretty good. They were kind of humorous.
Trying to think if there's anything else going on. There's no industry shows in the next few days. And all that hoopla is over with.
Mm-hmm.
And unless something comes out in the news tomorrow, I'm not real sure what we're going to talk about tomorrow night. I don't think we're going to rehash this topic again.
Yeah. Packrat says he's tried going live twice this week, but can't get it to work.
Hmm.
What are you using? Wood says he needs to go to the deep woods more. He likes the lack of people.
He likes the lack of people, so he's spending his spare time on social media.
Mm-hmm. He likes the lack of people, but he works in a school.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He puts himself around people a lot.
He sure does. For somebody who doesn't like people, he sure puts himself around them a lot. Well, I found something cool on YouTube. One of the tech channels has an AR-15 desk mat. It looks like one of the AR-15 cleaning mats. It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you put it underneath your keyboard and mouse on your desk.
StreamYard and Restream? Hmm. How to use both? I'm not sure how that. Or he tried them both. Okay.
Tried them both, probably. Yeah.
I don't know if it's something maybe in the permissions on his channel. Don't you have to have so many subscribers before you have the ability to go live? Or you need to basically go in on your channel and enable live chats?
It used
I
to
believe
be,
you had to do that in YouTube Studio.
yeah.
And
Didn't it?
basically, I think you have to authenticate, give it,
Yeah.
give it
Well,
a phone number or something. I don't
I know.
remember.
Didn't it used to be you had to have 100 subs or something before you could go live?
Used to be. I'm not sure it's still that way now, but
Or was that to go live on mobile?
I think that's to go live on mobile. Let me go into YouTube Studio because you don't have the ability right away. Let's see, agreements. No, permissions. No? Where is it? Gosh, I don't remember.
It's been so long, I couldn't tell you.
I don't remember where all that stuff is. Oh, it's under channel feature eligibility. Okay. So it's under intermediate features. So if you go to YouTube Studio, go to settings and then click channel and then feature eligibility, and it'll be under intermediate features. And you have to enable it by, I think, basically verifying a phone number. So you have to turn it on in YouTube first before it allow it to work. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not hard. Other than that, you have to be free of community guideline strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the advanced features, which gives you a few more things. But then you've got that's based on channel history. That's where you have to have X number of subscribers and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
just to do a simple live stream, it shouldn't be a big deal. So yeah, go into YouTube Studio and make sure you've got the intermediate settings, intermediate features enabled. If you have any questions on that, Packrat, you can always shoot me an email.
Yeah, it got quiet.
Pack Rat has 98 subs now. Wow. That's getting close. It's getting close to 100. That'll be
Mm-hmm.
something to celebrate. Heck yeah.
I'm at
He'll have
463.
to do a 100 subscriber giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
I did when I did mine, but gosh, that was so long ago. I remember I was pretty excited when I finally hit 100 subs. It's a big deal. I
I
never
hit a
thought
hundred.
I'd get that many.
I hit 100 real quick and then like just stalled. It's taking forever to get the. I'm up
Took
to
me forever to get
463.
to 1,000. Oh, wow. Couple of years. Eventually it gets a little easier. Oh, Ron 2A wants me to take over his Thursday night show. That'd be cool to have some new blood doing live streams.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like every once in a while, some of the old guard will stop doing them, and then somebody new will start up.
Yeah. Problem with Ron 2A shows, he has them on nights where I do other shows, and I swear to myself, I'm not doing two shows in one night anymore. that 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 was chaotic when we used to do that back in the day.
Oh, this is the second live stream I've done today, but to be fair, I did have about 6 hours rest in
Yeah, that's
between.
what I'm saying. They're not back to back, going from one show right into the next one. I ain't doing that no more.
And I may or may not have laid down for a little bit. I won't lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sunday. Of course I did. I and my old friend George.
I watched the Pirates get their butts kicked by the Mets today. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets, for Christ's sake. We're the worst teams in baseball.
I didn't even know the Royals were playing, and I was seeing reports on X that they were already behind, and then they're already behind more. And it's like, well, I'm glad I didn't watch that. So
Ozzy's got negative subscribers. He's got negative
that's a
six.
that's a problem.
Yeah, he got -6 subscribers.
Yeah, you look into that. Those
Uh-huh.
demographics are awful.
Yeah, something ain't right. Something ain't right there. I wish my X subscriber count would transfer into YouTube subscriber count. That'd be at 3,600.
How many do I have on X? 1,222. I'm not as big as you. It's gone down quite a bit because I stopped spamming people. So I think once people figured out I stopped doing sub for sub, they just every once in a while you'll get the girly channels that'll try, but I don't bite. If if they're following 500 people, or if they've got 500 followers and they're only following 20 people, no, I'm not interested. Besides, I don't want to watch one of these internet bimbos show off their body. There's sure a bunch of them on X. Of course, that's everywhere, but X is a little bit more permissive of what they let people get away with, I guess you would say. They're on Facebook too. Don't kid yourself. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people go for that stuff.
Oh man,
You sleepy?
yeah, still not feeling that great. So.
Woods is telling his Funyun story. I saw that. I think it was on Facebook earlier. He posted about that. I haven't had Funyuns in a long time. Of course, that's another junk food I don't eat anymore.
Mm.
I used to love Funyuns, so I won't lie to you. Of course, we exist, Woods.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'd have brought you Funyuns. Heck, I might even bought them. Well, my gosh, it's $2.33 for a 2 ounce bag. It's like, wow. It didn't used to cost that much.
Yeah, I just updated the thing, and federal courts, the federal government still has not formally appealed the decision.
Oh no, it's Sunday.
It doesn't matter; they've done it on Sundays before. You can still electronically file the intent to appeal.
Well, if they are going to do it, it's going to take some time to build one.
Well, like I said, they more than likely they already have the appeal ready. Just haven't filed it yet. They would have already had people working on it in case they lost. Both sides would have. What's the deadline? The deadline for the stay is Wednesday, but they can appeal anytime, even after that is expired. They can also apply for an extension of this stay, so, but they haven't taken any action yet.
Just reading this email that Backrat sent me. That's cute.
Yeah, what's
I
what is?
didn't know he had a newsletter. Wow.
Yeah, he does. I get it. He also has email where he sends out different deals and stuff that he's found online.
I think that's kind of what this is, daily deals or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of a little kitten that says, Gary has brought you a pinned magazine. Unpin it like the forefathers wanted. I love it.
Now, why are you giving him a pinned magazine, Gary? That wasn't very nice.
I don't know. I guess because I'm an ornery little cat.
Mm,
I don't know what a cat's doing with a pinned magazine, but
I don't know.
where in the world did he get a pinned magazine around here? Not in this state.
Yeah, that wasn't today's email. Oh, wait, yesterday's email. I'm looking at yesterday's email. Yesterday's email picture was him with a giant clock. It says, now's the time.
It says Sunday, August 9th at 21:26, so it's just 6 minutes ago.
Oh, there it is. Let's see. Open image in new tab. Come on, open the picture.
You gonna be brave and put it on the screen?
I was, I would if it would have freaking opened picture. Um, open image in new tab. No, I don't want to download the damn thing. Click open a new tab and it wants me to freaking open it in the new tab. It's not letting me do what I want to do here. The image address. Let's see if that does it. Nope, that's not going to do it either.
Hold on.
It's not cooperating on Windows.
Well, that's what you get for using Windows, I tell you.
Yeah.
There you go. Except I'm in the road. There you go.
Yeah, I was trying to switch it over, but it didn't want to switch. Yep, there you go, folks. That's the picture in question. That looks like one of our cats when he was a kitten.
That's a fairly young kid. Look at them ears.
Mm-hmm.
Day or two old.
No, he
Well,
wouldn't have
eyes
his
are
eyes
open.
open.
Yeah. That's the mew stage. You go, meow, meow, meow.
I think that's one of them short-eared cats that have the real tiny little ears.
Say
Almost
when
like a
I got
little head.
George, and I think George was 7 weeks when I got him. His head was half ears, I think.
Mm,
Big
yeah,
old ears.
yeah. We
He
get those
grew
little.
into a.
I don't know if you've seen them, but these cats, they almost look like they don't have any ears at all. Call them with short ears. Wood says his cat would have a 9mm mag just to be a dick. But hey, it's got to be a smart cat to bring any kind of magazine to begin with. I mean,
That's true. At least you've got the cat retrieving the right things.
mm-hmm.
Like
Packrat
find that
says,
magazine I haven't found. I haven't been able to find in the last 6 months. I've got some.
mm-hmm. Packrat says Munchkin. Munchkin's a different species or different breed. You got short eared, then you got the Munchkins. They both basically have the same kind of ears, the real tiny little ears. I was watching a video the other day, different breeds of cat, because there was nothing, like, I'm just like looking for something to watch, and I was like, what the fuck? Just wanted to watch something completely pointless. I was watching a video earlier today that where the government has declared a species extinct that doesn't even exist.
Hmm.
The eastern mountain lion. There is no eastern mountain lion. Scientists did a comparison of results that they have from way back when on mountain lions in the east coast of the U.S. and they compare that to the DNA of mountain lions out in the west coast today, it's identical. There's only one species of mountain lion. For years, they've been saying there were two or more. There's only one. Packrat saying Cooter from the Dukes of Hazzard died. I didn't see anything about that. So.
Yeah, he did. 84 years old.
Dory Funk Jr. died earlier this week. Pro wrestler Dory Funk Jr., Terry Funk's
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
Yeah. Former
Watched,
NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
watched him on TV at least once.
Mm-hmm.
On our local wrestling show, they did a special. They were showing a national match for some reason. Only time they ever did it. So it must have been a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Him and Terry were multiple time world tag team champions across the NWA and WWF. Both of them were former world heavyweight NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. So what happens when you get older. People you used to watch when you were a kid start dying.
Yeah, for real.
And the music you listened to in high school is either classic rock or oldies, depending on who you ask. Oh, trying to think of what else we could talk about. He's opening more. Close these tabs. I don't need them anymore. Talking Romo's asking if anybody's going to DC for the Indy race. I didn't even know there was one.
Mm.
I haven't watched any racing in years. Guessing they're doing a Grand Prix through the city itself. That ought to be fun because there is no racetrack in DC. City that's already pain in the neck to get around. I didn't have a auto race at the same time. It was a great idea. Buckaroo says it's on the 28th. On the mall. What are you gonna do? Just do an oval race around? I guess they could. They could do a race just right around the mall. It'd be an oval. They could do an oval around that. Go down by the reflecting pole and all that.
I haven't watched Indy in years.
Mm-mm.
Used to when I was younger. I watched it all the time.
Yeah, I used to watch IndyCar and NASCAR. Kart before Kart went under. I really watched F1 because you'd be up early, super early to watch F1 because that's over in New York. There's often there be an F1 race in North America, but most of the time it's over in Europe. Didn't want to be up at that time to watch it. How did this start a Q&E thing work? I don't know. Say something. What? I got to put a question out there and everybody have to answer it?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Try it. See what happens.
I have no idea what's going on. But what do I say?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's Ron Wayne and Boomstick.
Wow. Evening, fellas. Banzai, Ron. I still haven't found that target. I was telling
We
Gary
just
I found a bunch of other stuff, but not the target I was looking for.
we was just talking about you, Ron. Your video you did of Pack Rat's care package.
Yeah. Pack Rat says it's time for ice cream. I have ice cream, but I have to go out to the kitchen to get it.
I can't have ice cream. Now, if I got invited to a kid's birthday party and they were serving ice cream, I would probably politely eat some, but
There's
just
sugar-free ice
a
cream.
just a little bit. Yeah, you can't buy it around here, and
Mm.
yeah, that's just empty calories. Trying to trying to watch my figure, you know.
Get yourself some fruit juice bars.
I just eat fruit.
Well, they have the frozen fruit juice bars, like a popsicle, but it's made with fruit, real 100% fruit juice. They have ones that are sugarless for diabetics and stuff. They're actually pretty good. I don't know if you
I
tried
just eat like I had a handful of grapes earlier, and a
them.
couple days ago because blueberries were on sale, so I actually had some blueberry. I love blueberries.
Mm-hmm. You can eat one of these instead of ice cream. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
They used to
Still have
have,
the gold.
you remember those ice bars, that into plastic and you cut the end off and you could squeeze them.
Mm-hmm.
They used to make those in sugar free, but you don't hardly see them much anymore.
Yeah. They used to make ones of those that were like sherbet too. Those were really good. It was like a creamy one version. Those were really good. Don't see those anymore either.
But stuff like that and candy, I just pretty much avoid. But like I say, if I want something sweet, I'll just have a piece of fruit or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Ron Wayne said Christmas. It's not Christmas without a wreath.
Yeah, it may be Christmas again at his place in a couple days. That's all I'm saying. Maybe about a week. Well, I think later on this week. Watch your mail around the end of this week. Just
Mm.
saying. That's all I'm going to say. And he knows what I'm talking about.
Silent night. Oh, I'm not going to sing any more than that. I don't think my throat could take it right now.
Oh.
Ron hasn't said anything. The cardinal may have scared him off.
Actually, my go to late night snack anymore is radishes. You can eat about all the radishes you want, even fill yourself up with them, and they don't hurt you. There's really nothing in them. They're pretty much water. So,
Same with celery.
yeah.
Celery is pretty much there's no, empty nothingness there. It's all, mostly water. Oh, hey man, can't have Christmas without a nice wreath, Ron. So I had to put. You say Christmas? It's like Christmas without the snow. Well, there you had a wreath and it had snow on it. Those two really nice cardinals.
I haven't had a wreath in years.
Amy comes up with a wreath for every goddamn holiday under the sun.
I don't want to put one on my door here at the apartment because that'd make people think that I'm welcoming company and stuff. And I've got a sign there that basically says no soliciting. So I'm trying to keep people from knocking on my door unless they're people I know. Because it's not like neighbors knock on my door. It's like people wanting you to buy something or people wanting to save your soul or something like that. Sign a petition. And I don't want anything to do with any of that junk. Leave me alone.
Well, actually you get you get heretics to your door too. They're going to be Mormons or Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, I've had both those.
Mm.
Yeah. But now I got a sign. Not that I'm unfriendly or anything. It's just I'm not interested.
And yes, folks, I pick on more than just Islam. I will go after the Jehovah's Witness and Mormons too, just not as vehemently.
I don't have anything against them personally. I don't subscribe to their way of thinking, but that doesn't mean that I dislike them in any way, shape, or form. I don't. But if they come to my door and try to convert me, that's a different deal.
Hmm. Well, I still remember when I was a kid when the Jehovah's Witness showed up at my grandmother's house on Christmas Day, and oh, did she get pissed off? I never heard the words come out of my grandmother's mouth that were coming out of her mouth before she slammed the door in their faces.
Yeah, I try not to treat people like that, and I don't want to judge. But for all I know, some of the people who are out there watching my videos may very well be of that persuasion, and I don't want to.
Oh, she was pissed off because they came to the house on Christmas Day.
Oh well, yeah.
She's like, if you would have came yesterday, or if you would come tomorrow, I'd have been nice to you. But you came on Christmas Day with your heresy. Oh, she went off on him after that. Like, oh boy. My mother's like trying to cover my ears. Like, it was like one of those movies where somebody's trying to cover the kid's ears so they can't hear what the person's saying.
I'm not going to berate anybody. If they knock on my door, I'm going to politely point to the sign and say, read this, you need to leave. If you don't leave, then we've got a problem.
Ron saying Misty's the same way as Amy. Always something festive on the front door. I think she's still got the 4th of July wreath hanging up there right now.
I used to have. In fact, I think I still do have. Weren't she talking about a chicken that used to hang a Christmas ornament or something?
Yeah, you got Amy. Amy sent you the handmade chicken Christmas ornament that she got
That's
at 2 o'clock.
hanging in my living room. I remember now. There is a flower hook that was in this apartment when I moved in. And just
Mm-hmm.
for a joke, I hung that chicken ornament from there, and it's been there ever since. It hangs in a corner of my living room above my lamp. And it looks cool as hell. But people will look at that. It's like, why do you have a chicken hanging? It's like, you got to understand. So now I remember. I said I knew it was around here where you could see it. I just couldn't remember. But that's where that is. I still have it. Fact, in fact, hold on. I can prove it. Give me one moment. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. How long can it take?
I had
It's
to
not that big picture.
I had to explain to Amy why I was looking for the targets again. Swear she's got a Swiss cheese memory.
Of course, it probably doesn't help that I've got close to 5,000 pictures on my phone. Don't ask me why. I just do. Okay, it's coming here.
I don't know how many pictures I got on mine. Not many, I would think.
Okay, so now, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share this. And here is your proof. Whoops. There you go.
Yep, that's
See?
the chicken. Mm-hmm.
Probably the safest place for it to be.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Now, I have had to occasionally get up there with a vacuum and get spider webs off of it and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, we got those kinds of hooks in here too. Amy went to hang a plant on one of them. The damn thing just disintegrated.
I'm guessing at one time or another somebody had a swag lamp hanging off of there.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who lived here before me, because it's right above an outlet
Mm-hmm.
over in the corner of the living room. And I've never been able to find a swag lamp to fit up there. So I mean, it's a perfect place for one. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, well, the chicken can live up there for now. So I know my apartment managers, they look up there every once in a while. They probably just shake their heads, but yep, that's my living room chicken right next to my TV.
You know, Packrat's throwing a link out there. He says it's for you.
It's an Amazon link. Where's that? Oh, wow. I have a mask. Uh, here. Here's what he shared with me.
The one you got covers your whole face, doesn't it?
Yeah, the one I got covers my whole face. And I've had two different ones. So,
This one might be more comfortable though because it's plush.
well, yeah, this has got cutouts for the eyes. The one I got
Mm-hmm.
actually has mesh you have to look through, and it's hot. It's very hot.
Oh yeah, those rubber masks they get hot.
First one I had was latex, and yeah, it stunk. I I did not like that
Mm-hmm.
thing. I don't know what happened to it. I may not still have it. What in the world?
No, we don't ever do that, Falcon Rumble. He says turn it into a furry chat. No, that ain't ever gonna happen.
No.
Uh-uh. Oh, did I tell you they sent us a new modem?
Mm-mm.
Yep, they sent us a new one. They said there wasn't any new modems released. You know, they were going to send us a replacement modem for when it was broke. It's a new modem. It's not the same model. So they lied.
Nice.
They also increased our speed from 1 gigabit to 2. Seems to be a little bit more stable than it was, but it's still not perfect.
Well, I did finally put the Sirius XM app on my phone,
Mm.
so I can now listen to it in the house if I want to. Works pretty good. It's better music than most things play around here.
Mm-hmm. And on the app, you got channels that don't have DJs. That's a bonus.
See, I don't really mind the DJs too bad. At least not the ones on Classic Rewind, anyway. It's usually chicks.
Mm. There's this one guy on Boneyard. I don't know if it's still Ozzy's Boneyard, if they dropped the Ozzy name since he died. But he acts like he knows everybody. He's annoying as goddamn all hell.
I just like the music selection because it seems like every time I get in a
Mm-hmm.
car, it's always music I like. It's like, yeah, this is finally something I can get into.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff, a lot of it, it's like, God, I haven't heard that in years. Wow. And if I wanted to get on one of the deep cut stations, I'd probably enjoy
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got the deep cut stations too, which play stuff that you never got played on the radio.
Those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Album cuts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Used to, if you listened real late at night, there were stations that would play entire albums.
Oh yeah, AOR, album oriented rock stations.
Yeah.
Which a lot of
Those
what
were
we have,
great.
yeah, a lot of what is considered classic rock now is stuff that was never released as a single because of the AOR channels.
Right. It was back in the good old days when bands would do concept albums and stuff like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hell, you got certain bands all they did was concept albums.
Rush did a few.
Mm-hmm. Alan Parsons Project. That's all they did.
That's some good stuff. There's some good
Mm-hmm.
musicians there, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Rush too. Don't even get me started. Very accomplished musicians.
Mm-hmm. Alan Parsons Project is a cool band. And Alan Parsons, man, his interviews with Professor Rock are some of my favorite episodes of his.
Oh yeah, because Alan Parsons knew everybody back in the
Oh
day.
yeah, he worked with the Beatles, Floyd, who they're a who's who of. I mean, he started out working Abbey Road as a gopher essentially, and worked his way up to producer. You know, he was the music equivalent of starting as a bag boy and working your way up to store manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that Gret's got to fill the puppy's water. I only have to fill George's water once a week. He's got a fountain and it holds like a gallon and a half of water or something like that. Well, every 2 weeks I have to completely clean it out and change the filter, and then on the odd weeks I just top it off. And then he drinks out of the toilet half the time anyway. So not real sure why.
Oh, there's something about animals and toilets.
Yeah. It's like this is a good water. It's like, not really, but you go ahead, I guess. Well, if I forget and put that lid down, he'll come in here hollering. First, I wonder what he's meowing about. Then I'll go in the bathroom. It's like, oh, I see what you're meowing about now. Sorry.
We keep the bathroom door closed, or else there'll be three cats in there drinking out of the toilet when we go in.
There's nothing like you got to use the toilet and you go in there and the cat's on top of it drinking. Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
I got to wait on a cat.
Vulcan Rumble says it's cold water. Yeah, it is.
I suppose that's right. This time of year, especially
Mm.
because the water coming out of the tap right now is fairly warm. I don't know. I'm guessing the water mains aren't buried that deeply around here, but
Oh,
I
water
can
here is
run the
cold.
I can run the water like forever, and it's like this ain't very cold for tap water.
The water here is cold. But then you go swimming in the stream that our water supply comes from, or the river, and that water is frigid this time of
Of
year.
course, I'm on the third floor, so I'd probably have to run quite a bit to run all
Mm.
the water out of the lines too. So
Boomstick says he quit listening to music after Dr. Demento went off the air.
I remember Dr. Demento.
Mm-hmm. It's where Weird Al got his start. Just Weird Al and his accordion, and in the accordion case is a drum.
It's back when you stayed up in your room late at night. You turn the radio dial till you found something cool. Because after midnight's when the really cool stuff came on.
Ron Wayne says Weird Al. Now there's real music. He's on tour right now.
Say what you want to about Weird Al, but
Man's
very
entertaining.
talented.
Yeah, man's entertaining. He used to have a cartoon show on Disney Channel or Disney XD. Milo Murphy's Law. He was a descendant of the Murphy who is named for who Murphy's Law is named for, and all this crazy stuff would happen. He voiced the main character on it. It was pretty funny. Of course, he did the theme song for the show. There would always be all this weird stuff happening to him and his friends. Anybody out there that's ever watched Phineas and Ferb on Disney, it was done by the same people that did Phineas and Ferb, which is another good cartoon. Two of the last good things that Disney did that weren't overly political or anything. They were just good old fashioned cartoons. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Packrat says he always wanted to see Gallagher. My mother and stepfather went to see Gallagher, and they said he wasn't as funny in person as he was like on the TV shows. That my stepfather figured it was his shtick had run its time or something like that. You know how he worded it, but you see him on TV so much, it just what his act wasn't funny anymore in concert. 'Cause basically, it was the same thing you saw on TV. There was nothing really different. You know, unlike somebody like George Carlin or somebody where they change up their act. It's like Gallagher didn't change up his act, which is probably why he went away like he did. Because how long are you going to do the same thing like he was doing? You know, I mean, how many watermelons are you going to smash with a giant hammer before it just runs its course?
Right.
You know, that's why uh, the guy with the puppets, I can't think of his damn name right now. That's why he's always changing up and getting the new puppets and stuff because you got to change up the old ones.
Oh, what the hell's his name? I know too.
Jeff Dunham.
That's it.
Yeah. But his show stays funny because he's always changing up the puppets or coming up with different routines for the puppets and stuff, you know? So it stays funny. It, Gallagher was always the same thing over and over and over again. Apparently, Ron Wayne really likes that Civivi. Guess he's talking about the one he won from you that time.
Hmm. Cool. That's a good deal.
He says it holds a, really takes an edge, he says. There's a guy here that works on knives. I'm thinking about having him look at my banter, see if he can get a edge on that. I can't get it to sharpen up.
I'm still waiting on my envelope to send my Benchmade back for sharpening. If they're sending it FX, but it's got to be the world's slowest FX package. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm. Now I don't know if I told you how I damaged the edge on it on this on the my Wii Panther. I was carrying it for my knife that day, and we were putting a ratchet strap on something, and the ratchet strap broke. And the only way I could get it off was to cut it, so I had to use this, and it just dulled that
Uh,
edge.
I carried this one Benchmade a lot of years, but just over 2 or 3 years of time of carrying it, it's just gotten dull. But I cut an awful lot of things with it. Back in the day when it was my only real good pocket knife, it cut lots of boxes. And I know better than to use good knives to open Amazon boxes with.
Yeah.
That's what box knives are for. Now that they've got the utility knives, it's like that's all I
Mm-hmm.
ever use to open packages. Like they're perfect. And if you dull the blade, you just put a new one in and off you go. So,
Mm-hmm. The day I had to cut that ratchet straps, the day I wish I would have had my bench made with the half serrated edge on it. I would have cut right through that with no issue. Trying to cut a ratchet strap with a straight edge blade is not easy.
no, probably not.
But on the opposite end of things, this damn little send cut, this little itty bitty blade right here. This thing is still sharp as hell. And I don't know how many envelopes and packages I've opened with it.
Oh, yeah, that's a neat one.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name of that.
the Jubal.
That's right.
Yeah. This is the one. If I ever hit 500 subs, I have one unboxed that somebody's going to win.
Yeah, Ron just sent me some pictures of that knife. It's got some. It's been used. You can tell that's been carried and that's been used. Nothing wrong with that. Knives are meant to cut things. And I love to see a micarta handle like that once it's worn in a little bit and it starts to take on the wear and tear pattern of the user. I think
Mm,
they look even better. That's what I like about micarta.
but anybody's wondering about what knife I was talking about with drawing it, cutting the ratchet strap, it'll be this one. That's a micarta handle on this one. See if my camera wants to focus. Come on, you stupid thing, focus. You can kind of see the Wii logo there. This is probably the cheapest knife that's got the Wii branding on it. Would you say that be the case?
That or the Elementum, one or the other.
No, this one's like $110.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I
about
paid
what the
for it.
Wii Elementum is, I
Yeah,
think. I
yeah.
didn't pay for mine, but I think that's about what they are. So Ron wants me to. He said I could go ahead and show a picture of that knife if I wanted. So let me see if I can share. He sent two of them, but I'll just share this one here. Get a pretty good look at it.
Hmm.
See, it's been used a little bit.
Yeah,
See, it's good. And got a patina on it now.
yeah.
It takes in a little bit of the oil and stuff like that off your hands and stuff. So he's had that in his hands lots of times. You can tell.
Hmm.
That's got the that's got the high dollar titanium clip on it too.
Yeah, this one does. No, this one. I think this one's got a steel clip on it. It's got titanium, but I think the clip's steel. Yeah, the clip on
Yeah,
it's steel. The frame's not. The frame, there's like, I got my little magnet here. I, see, the clip is steel. You know, it's really stupid of me to have the blade open. That was a
yeah,
good.
that's how people get cut, like
Yeah,
Foss did the
but
other
there's
day.
there's no attraction to the sides. The frame is not steel. The frame is titanium,
Interesting.
and the thumb studs are titanium on it too. And so's the pivot. One side of the pivot. One side of the pivot is, let's see, that's the screw. The screws are steel.
I was gonna say the pivot's on one side and the pivot screws on the other.
Yeah,
So
the pivot is titanium, but the screw is steel. So you get a little bit of traction through the pivot, but not a lot. It'll slide right off. Whereas the screw itself doesn't want to stick on the screw either. Maybe the screw's steel, titanium too, and it's just tacked into the blade. I don't know.
now on your Wii's and
Blade is
Civivis,
definitely
they've
steel.
got the brand logo on their pivot. Sencut doesn't do that. That's
Hmm.
one of the
Yeah,
one of the budget things is they just use standard pivots on
yeah. I don't know.
those.
I'm trying to get that logo to show up because it's really cool looking with the because it's titanium. It's got like the
I'd have
brownie
to
in the
find
back.
mine. I know
You got the
where it is. I
Civivi
just
one, right?
the that knife, yeah, I got a couple
Yeah.
of them. Or do I still have two? I think I still have two of them. I've had three. I gave one away.
What's crazy is the Civivi fixed blade I got from you. It doesn't have the Civivi logo on it.
Yeah, the fixed blades have it on the blade, I believe.
doesn't have the little disc with it. It'd be cool if it
No.
had the disc in the grip, but it doesn't. I've seen other fixed blades from other companies where they still had the what would be the pivot disc with the logo on it. Savini
Yeah.
doesn't do that.
Every one I've ever had, I've given away as far as fixed blades of BBs.
That thing's got a thin blade on it. That one I got. That one on the
I
blade is
really don't
thin.
carry a fixed blade that often. A lot of people love them, so that's definitely something I give away that those people will get more good out of it. And that's true of most of the knives. I just can't carry all the knives I review on the channel. I'd love to, but
Mm-hmm.
so I try pretty much the knives I carry are actually stuff I've bought over the years, which
Yeah.
I have about a dozen knives that I've paid for. Now, I will say, since Ron Wayne's on here, I took a look at a couple. Well, one of the Ozark Trail ones he sent me, the one that had the metal, the frame lock one.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a nice knife. I was really surprised by that. And the blade's super sharp, and it's really a very nice looking knife. And then what's this other one here? The is it mossy oak? Yeah. It's not a bad little knife either for an inexpensive knife.
Yeah.
I was impressed. It's actually quite sharp too.
This is the one I got off a run last time. The only problem I have with this one is the finger grooves. I don't like the finger grooves, but the blade, it's sharp. It's an Ozark Trail. This blade is sharp as hell heck, and it's a beefy boy. It's got some weight to it.
This is the one I'm talking about. This one here, it's an Ozark Trail, and I like it's kind of a thin, sleek
Mm-hmm.
looking blade. It's actually real cool.
Yeah, I think they call this one the Trail Boss or something. When I was looking at Walmart's website on it, it's an $8
Now my
knife too.
camera, now my camera won't focus.
I can't believe they only want $8 for this on Walmart.com. It's like, are you kidding me? This knife is like super strong, super heavy. It's
So
got
I
it's got heft to it.
I carried Ozark Trails for years before I started knife collecting and stuff like that, and I won't talk anything bad about them. If that's your price range, you can definitely get a very
Oh, you can do worse. You can
good
do a lot
knife.
worse.
And they actually now actually have some styles that I like. They've
Hmm.
really, they've really upped their game.
Yeah, you can do a lot worse than a Moss, than a, not a Moss, the Ozark Trail for more money. I I've got knives that cost more than that Ozark Trail that there's no way I would carry after having them. This one I might consider if I was going out on a trail or something. Going out on a hike or something and need a more beefy knife. I might actually consider carrying this. It's got that. It's got a nice feel to it for that kind of stuff. If you need it.
A knife's a knife. If you can carry it with you, it feels good in your pocket and does what you need to do, then who's to say if it's, I guess that's a good knife, as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm. This one's not bad. I just wish I could get the pivot to loosen up. For some reason, this pivot does not want to loosen because it's stiff for a the cross bolt locks on them. It's stiff for one of those. You can't like flip it like you can other ones. But I got a feeling if I could get the screws to loosen up, I could do it. But for some reason, those screws do not. I don't know if they Loctite in them or what, but those screws do not want to loosen up
Oh,
on that pivot.
yeah. And the way those are usually Torx for the
Mm-hmm.
star heads. And you got to be careful over torquing those or you'll strip those screws.
This is a nice little knife. Just wish I could get the screws to loosen up. This is probably one that Misty was hoping nobody would win. She likes blue. It's a nice shade of blue too.
I just hate it when they give away blue knives because I know if Ron wins them, he's never going to get to keep them. So
What says in the pocket of Big Ozark. I was
I
watching.
just know what I just know what I consider a good knife, and you know,
There
can't
is
argue
a
with
knife review channel on YouTube. I can't remember the name of it right now. They were when the Walmart Ozark Trails copy of the Bug Out came out. They compared it with a Bug Out. They were able to snap a Bug Out in half, but not the Ozark Trail. The handle on they just snapped the handle of the Bug Out right in half on one of their tests. The Ozark Trail wouldn't even bend.
Well, to be
Why?
fair, the
Well, you
bug
know
out
why.
only has a partial frame for one
That's
thing.
what
The
the
frame
problem was.
only comes back about
Yep.
halfway on it.
Yeah, the frame only goes halfway down the grip, whereas the Ozark Trail has a full length frame in it. So
They do that
that
to lighten it up, but yeah, it
yeah,
does have that effect too.
yeah, it's a design. I think of it more of a flaw. I would rather have the full length frame and have the knife be a little bit more heavier than to only have half a frame. Because what if you were actually cutting something and that happened? That wouldn't be a good thing.
Well, yeah, you're not normally going to put that kind of lateral stress on a knife doing normal cutting motions and stuff. You're about to be having to pry with it to actually be putting lateral stress on that handle that hard. Not saying it's impossible, but I've got a mini bug out in my hand right now, and yeah, I could snap it. I'm not going to because that's a
Yeah,
hundred
I
twenty
still would
dollar
rather have
knife.
a
But
full length frame.
yeah, if you took it apart and looked at it, that frame only goes back about half the length of the scales.
Yeah. See, I don't want a knife like that. I want the knife to have the full frame. It's one of the reasons why I don't have a Bug Out back when they were cheap or affordable, I should say. I looked at one and I was like, no, I don't like that. It only has a half frame for as much as they cost. It just given it, you want to save weight, given it an aluminum frame, it can still have strength to it. Well, in case anyone was wondering, too, that magnet I was using on the knives, I got that from Ron Wayne.
Yeah, I have a couple of those. In fact,
Mhm.
right next to me in my cup that holds all my pens and everything, I've got a couple of those
That's
magnets, and
that's
those
where I
come
keep
in
his.
handy every
Yes,
once in a
they do.
while.
Yes, they do.
You'd be amazed every once in a while. Do I have a magnet? Yes, I have a magnet. Ron Wayne gave me a couple.
Night Woods. Woods is going heading out.
All right, Woodsy. And if anybody ever comes to my door and wants to know if I have any chattering teeth, well, thanks to Ron Wayne, I have those too. So
Yes, so do I. Amy's like, where do you keep getting these chattering teeth from?
there's only one place you can get those.
Mm-hmm.
Same place I got all my cool socks,
Yeah, yeah,
which I think I have half a dozen of now.
yeah. When I told Amy about why I need to find Target, she's like, is that the guy that keeps sending you all the goofy stuff?
It's not goofy. It's eclectic. There's a difference. He's a fun guy.
He's not a mushroom.
At least I don't think he is.
I need a soundboard with drum.
Wow.
I need a rim shot for that
Now
one.
I'm sitting here playing with a magnet. Thanks, Rich.
So am I. Playing with a knife and a magnet.
That's why I keep all my stuff in a big coffee cup that Ron 2A Matters give me. It's like, it's got all my fidget toys in it.
Yeah. Ron says filling junk drawers one house at a time. I got a Ron Wayne drawer, okay? I don't have a junk drawer. I have a drawer that's pretty much full of stuff that I've gotten from you. No joke. No joke, folks. Our buffet out in the dining room, the top shelf is full of almost nothing but stuff I've gotten from Ron Wayne.
Well, now that I moved them on top of my little corner shelf next to my TV in the living room, about half of the top of that is chickens and stuff that you guys sent me. I decided to move stuff in where I could see them again. So,
The best one is the one that poops jelly beans.
hmm
I don't know. You folks, don't remember. We got Gary this wind up chicken that walks, and as it's walking, it poops jelly beans.
yeah, it actually came with a small bag of Jelly Bellies, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up eating them all, but you can buy them. Any Jelly Bellies will go in there.
I think it's supposed to symbolize that it's laying eggs, but it looks more like it's pooping.
If you got black jelly beans, for sure.
Well, didn't they come with brown ones?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Ron's like, do you remember the scene in the Christmas Story? Teacher opens her desk and teeth are chattering. That's yep.
And
That's a drawer I have. Yep.
and I think on my desk, yes, I do. I actually have one of these
Oh, so do I.
challenge coin.
Yeah, I got it here somewhere.
I mean, guess I could actually open it up and get it out. I never took it out of the plastic.
Yeah. See if my camera turns on. There we go. That's mine.
Yep. Show us your challenge coin.
Yeah.
See, we're Waniacs. We
Uh
got
huh.
the stuff,
We
man.
got the coins.
I got the wristband.
I'm wearing it.
Here, let
It's
me
made.
put it on.
Yeah, this one has
Yeah,
made
now I'm official.
cameos in videos already. So. Of course, then it was on the other wrist. Used to have it on my left wrist. Now it's on my right. I
You
have
can't
one.
say
I have. I can put one on my left wrist too if I wanted to.
we aren't Waniacs, that's for sure.
We're way. We're zany to the max.
And I'm also part of Hillbillies Clan. I've got the skinny gold knife here. So I got tons of skinny knives. Yes, I collect stuff I get from other channels too, because it's fun.
Yeah, you pay for play contract. Zany to the max. There's baloney in our slacks.
Wow.
You never watched Animaniacs?
No, it's a little after my time.
Oh man, dude, there is no after your time with that show. That show was hilarious, no matter what age you are.
I'm
My
older than you.
grandfather used to watch that and laugh his ass off. So that cartoon is hilarious, man.
Ron Wayne official. Hey there.
Packrat says he can't wear the bracelet. He's allergic to it.
Really? Hmm. I've got a collection of those latex wristbands that I've accumulated over the years.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other one I
Some I've
got on,
some I've bought, some were given to me.
the
I've
other
got
one I
like,
got. Oh, sorry,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
There you
I was
go.
gonna say I've probably got more than a dozen.
The other one I'm wearing is actually one of the Hodge twins ones, but it doesn't have their logo on it. So since they went nutsos, I don't watch them anymore, but I wear it because it doesn't have their logo on it. It just says "We the
Yeah,
People."
I used to back in the day. Well, I've got a Ron Wayne business card on my desk too.
I have one of them somewhere on my desk. Yeah,
It's
here it is.
autographed on the back, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
so's mine.
It's even got a hand drawn picture of a duck.
Uh, Mine doesn't have a that. It just says bonsai. It says thanks for being a great friend, Ron Wayne. Bonsai.
See?
There's what the front looks like that Gary's not showing you. But then there's what mine says on the back.
It's nice having autographed stuff. Of course, I've
Mm-hmm.
autographed a couple of times for Hillbilly.
Yeah.
Yes, those are keepsakes, Ron. You never get rid of autographed stuff like that. Someday that'll be worth tens of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Somewhere I got the one that he had taped to the outside of the Galileo, the wrapping that he put around the Galileo, which is on the mantle, so I can't show that right now. The Galileo shuttlecraft from Star Trek. Oh, speaking of Star Trek,
Galileo.
Galileo Figaro Magnifico. Name the song. I know you probably can.
Well, yeah, I own the album.
I have it too. But do you have one of these?
No, I don't. But you don't have a Gorn. I have
No,
two Gorns.
I have a William Riker from Ron Wayne.
Well, Ron Wayne has a Kirk. I'm so jealous.
I don't have a Kirk.
I found the Gorn on Amazon. Yeah, you'd be amazed how many, like those Fungo Pops and stuff like that I have in my living room that I've collected over the years. Little toy dinosaurs and stuff.
Mm,
I'm kind of like a kid when it comes to that stuff. I keep them. Stay on Santa's nice. So I'll do my best. But yeah, I get amused by collecting little things like that. I keep them in the corner of my living room, so when I'm sitting watching TV, I can sit and look at them. Every once in a while, I'll go walk over there and look at them, and it just amuses me. What can I say? I'm
Hmm.
like a kid. I'm like a kid sometimes. A lot of times. Let's be real.
I don't know if many people on the shows. I know I've shown you off air. I don't know if I've shown people these on air, but these are two things that sit on my keyboard that people at the hospital, patients that Amy takes care of, have given her. One, a little Jesus. Two, this is positivity chicken. They sit on my keyboard.
Let's not forget all the toy cars that I've gotten at least two or three different Matchbox cars and stuff from
Mhm.
Ron Wayne. I
And,
love those things.
and then this little shark also sits on my keyboard.
I found a fish of some sort. I found it next to my car out in the parking lot at work one time. Somebody lost it out of their pocket or it belonged to one of their kids or something. I just found it and it's like I picked it up and it wasn't tore up. It's like, you're mine now. So,
Say Matchbox cars?
uh huh.
Uh-huh. And guess where that came from?
Let's see. I
I bet you
think
can't guess where that came from. Nope.
probably the same place this one came from.
I got one here that's supposed to be yours, but Ron sent it to me
Uh,
because he goofed somewhere. Somewhere I got that Chevette. If we would have went to goals, you would have got it.
this is kind of like a little concept race car or something like
Mhm.
that. SpongeBob figures on my monitor. Well, I've got stuff out in my car too that belongs to my granddaughter, but they basically stay in my vehicle until she's riding with me, which is an hour a week. So they're
Mm.
basically mine, including my duck collection, which I have six rubber ducks. I don't even have a Jeep anymore, but yeah, there's still ducks in it. Now they're inside back where my daughter sits, but there's still ducks in there.
Mhm.
Not on the dash anymore because by rights I can't put ducks on the dash of a Ford Escape. But that'd just be wrong. But yeah, that was a 50th anniversary. Yeah, special wheels, still in a package.
Now, you remember my Batman car collection
Yeah,
that used to be hanging on the wall when we were living at the townhouse? Yeah. Every
that
Matchbox or Hot Wheels Batmobile for the last, I don't know how many years.
that just occurred to me. That should hang on my wall. Now it's hanging on my wall. Thanks, Ron. All it takes is a thumbtack.
Mm. He was like, "You're not doing that at the new house."
I don't own this place. I'm renting it.
It's
I
like
want
she
to
didn't
put
care when we
tiny.
were renting the apartment, the townhouse, but now that we own the house, she's like, "You ain't doing that there."
I have a whole bunch of push pins.
I had what, like 20 or 30 different Batmobiles hanging on the wall.
If I look around here, there's more cars. I just got to remember where I put them.
I don't know if I got a picture of it saved on the computer or not. I have to look. I used to have a bunch of Batmobiles hanging on the wall.
My daughter bought me a toy. Is a toy shotgun that fired caps, and that now belongs to Minnie Wayne because I thought he could use it more than me. So
With his recent changes, he may actually be able to hold it.
well, I got a bigger one that he could probably hold now. It's a cap gun too, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've got one bigger than the one I sent him last time. It's about 8 inches, yeah, 8, 9 inches long.
That new giveaway knife that Ron has would be perfect for Mini Wayne. It would fit perfectly in his hand. The one who was it? Dennison to give away?
Did you see that short that Misty put out?
Uh huh. Oh yeah, I commented on it. It was like, yeah, this is why it needs to be motorized.
Oh yeah, I remember that comment now. Like she's she's getting into the act of releasing shorts too. I see how it is.
I'm gonna have to find all my Hot Wheels Batmobiles. They're packed up somewhere.
Oh, I forgot my mini Wayne buzzer.
Hmm.
You guys probably never saw it, but you heard it a few times.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's custom. It's a custom job. It's a buzzer with a mini Wayne's. It came with the sticker on it. So, yes, I have toys. I have lots of toys. I don't have a lot of the toys I grew up with, so I just collect new ones. Whoever has to clean up this place after I'm gone is probably going to do a lot of shaking their heads like, why does he have all this stuff? Oh, well, that's their problem. Mine.
That was on her channel, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
there it is.
think.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
found it.
it came up in my feed.
Yeah, I found it.
You know, we try to be serious YouTube creators and all that
Hmm.
stuff. And we do serious stuff, serious live streams and serious review videos and stuff like that. But occasionally we just want to have fun.
Yeah, but there's my comment in her reply. So yeah, this is why he needs to be motorized. No, I'll never go out there again.
Never say never.
Hmm.
I mean, Mini Wayne is evolving. So
Hmm. I should actually play the video. I don't think Misty's gonna give me a copyright claim.
So I'm out here in the studio all alone working by myself, and I feel like I'm being watched. I don't like it, not one bit. Why is he staring at me? Like, seriously, why is his eyes right at me? I don't like this.
And that's why my comment was perfect. That's why he needs to be motorized.
amazing how he happened to just be perched up there looking back. at
Mm-hmm.
her like that. I'm sure that wasn't on purpose or anything like that. I still remember that one video that Ron did out the range where he had Minnie Wayne hidden in a range bag,
Mm-hmm.
and he had Misty open up the bag and get something out for him, and she reached in.
Pack Rat says he's got a Mimi Wayne. Is that a Mrs. Minnie Wayne? Mimi? I think he meant the Minnie Wayne, the little bust of Minnie Wayne.
Yeah, I noticed the Gizzard Gary keychain hanging up there. I appreciate
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't have any of those. I gave all of them I had to him. So, oh, I think I have a key hanging off one somewhere here.
I
I
got a
know I gave my daughter one too. So.
I got a few Gizzard Gary magnets out in the kitchen, of various varieties.
Oh, I still have some of those.
Got the channel member one and
Yeah, that
with
too.
just the logo.
I try not to double up on the channel member magnets because I figure if everybody got one, and I try to think of if a channel member wins their first knife that I can think. I try to put in a magnet with it, but I've probably still got channel members out there that don't have one. But I figure eventually they're going to win something off of me. If not, all they have to do is say, "Hey, can I have a magnet?" And I'd send it to you. Not a problem, but
You know, if Minnie ever gets a wife, Mimi would be a good name, and then we could just blame it on Pack Rat.
Mimi Wayne, yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, he said he's got the original Mimi Wayne. So if
Now you can't have competition for the real Misty
mm-mm.
because Minnie only has eyes for Misty.
Darn it, I forgot. I wanted to use a certain picture for the thumbnail when I forgot to do it.
Gee, I wonder what picture that is.
Oh, I wonder what picture that could possibly have been.
Thinking it might possibly be this one.
Yeah, it may have been. Yeah, yeah, that might be it. Best part is Amy has that same outfit, that same Igor outfit.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool.
with the tail and the head and everything. Yeah. Yeah, just said on your show on Wednesday, Ron. The hills are alive with the sound of me. I don't know why I'm singing tonight when I feel like shit. Uh,
I still think you sing better than Snob.
It's not saying much though.
Yeah, that's not much of a compliment.
Doctor said keep it to an hour. We're going on 3, so I think we might want to start
Yeah.
wrapping this up. We'll go 2 hours over doctor's orders. Just knows what the hell time it is and what the timer on the clock said. Yeah, the timer says like, "Whoops, I went a little over." Probably why my throat's starting to bug me like hell right now. So, anyway, anything you want to plug, Gary?
Yeah, I did a video last week on the CJRB Mega Maximal. Check that out. Also, sometime in the next few days, I'm going to be releasing a video on the console vault. So look for that. And don't forget, I'm doing a live stream Monday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Central. It's called Foul Territory and it's on my channel. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep. Anybody out there want to plug anything? Like where it says, "Don't give up your day job." I don't plan on it. I don't have a day job, so I can't give one up.
Yeah, really. Same here.
Yeah. I've thought about seeing if the sheriff's department needs help with something. See about making some extra money. I don't know. Because we got this program in West Virginia. It's called the Special Deputy uh, Laws, where if they need help with something, they can appoint somebody as a deputy without them having to go through the police academy and stuff. I thought about
I
seeing it.
do. I do some volunteer work down for the Genealogical Society and down at the county museum and stuff like that. And that's fun because I enjoy it, but it doesn't pay anything. That's all right.
Ron Wayne says, "Terrific show." Pack Rat, you should have seen Stephen Sheets episode when I was on there and we did The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah.
You remember? You remember that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried getting him to do The Gambler too, but he didn't know the lyrics to it. If you don't know The Gambler, he's like, no. He was all upset because he didn't know it. It was like, dude, it's okay. You don't have to know it. I was like, but you really should listen to. He's like, who? That was Kenny Rogers, right? I was like, yeah. I was like, dude, it's a great song. You should learn the lyrics to it. He's like, okay. He's like, maybe next time. There never has been a next time. Because for a while he had deleted his channel, if you remember.
On a warm summer's evening,
On a
on a
train
train
bound
bound for
for
nowhere,
nowhere,
met
met
up
up
with a
with the
gambler.
game. We're both too tired to sleep. Yeah, I know the words to that. I used to love that song and the movie. Him and Bruce Boxleiter. Anyway, I think we need to wrap this up before I start singing something else. We're gonna bid y'all adieu for tonight. Hopefully, see you tomorrow night on Gizzard Gary's show. If my throat, if I got a voice, or I'll be singing and going over 2 hours what the doctor told me to do. So, anyway, have a good night, everybody. We'll catch y'all later.
Bye.